Hi, I'm Ara Parsegian, and we call the show Era Sports World. It's all about youth and their activities, the fun, excitement, competition, action. Stick around. You'll like it.
Era Sports World is brought to you by Kellogg's, because your best days start with breakfast.
It takes a lot of skilled men and women, officers and airmen, all working together to keep the Air Force flying. To find out how you can be part of the Air Force team, call 800-447-4700 toll-free for the location of the Air Force recruiter nearest you.
Chunk after chunk after chunk. Campbell's Chunky Soups. So chunky you'll be tempted to eat them with a fork. Dig into chunky beef and you'll come up with chunks of beef, carrots, and potatoes. It's a main dish in a bowl. Or dig into chunky turkey. It's more than a soup. It's chunky. So hearty you can build a meal around it. Campbell's Chunky Soup. So chunky you'll be tempted to eat them with a fork. But use a spoon. You'll want to get every drop.
Introducing that king of fun, the one who's okay with us kids, the Magic Burger King!
In person?
Yay!
I'm the marvelous, magical Burger King. I can do most anything. Now watch me, kids, when I twist my ring like magic.
We're at Burger King! Is my Magic Burger King?
I'm the marvelous, magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So I'll make a burger disappear, make it come back here. Turn apples into pies right before your eyes. Turn onions into rings.
As we can see.
Put a shiver in the shake. It's easy for me. I'm the marvelous, magical Burger King. I can do most anything. I love magic and food that's fun. So
Yes, fun for everyone! Burger King, yay!
Hello, Keebler.
Why, that's an elf suit.
Right. I always wanted to be an elf, you know, wear the outfit, live in a tree, bake rich and chips cookies. Listen, how do you make rich and chips so doubly delicious?
We use two kinds of chips, chocolate chips and secret second flavor chips. They make Keebler Rich and Chips doubly delicious.
Two kinds of chips.
And elves. You're too tall to be an elf.
I'll wear low heels. Nobody will know.
Keebler Rich and Chips. Two kinds of chips.
Doubly delicious.
Some tissues like to call themselves softer, while others call themselves stronger. The truth is, you can't have more of one without losing some of the other. If we were to make Kleenex tissues any softer, we'd lose too much strength. While if we were to make Kleenex tissues any stronger, we'd lose some of our famous softness. So Kleenex tissues give you softness and strength in perfect balance. We'll never take away one to give you more of the other.
Hey, kids, what do you get when you take a bowl and a can of alphagetti?
You get 100 zillion words in every can of alphagetti. Like Dr. Kittens, where's your mittens? Time for school, don't be a nil. Where's my mommy? I got an empty tummy. You get 100 zillion words in every can of alphagetti.
It's fun to eat.
WGR-TV2 in Buffalo.
NBC Wednesday Mystery Movie will not be presented this evening, but will return next week at its regular time.
What are you, fucking commie? Huh?
No, I ain't no commie.
Oh, you better not be. I don't want no commies in my car. No Christians either.
Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
Still a stupid.
It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, it's just clever.
Lou Gossett is annoyed.
Hey, you know, we've got some real bad guys in this country. Abusing public lands, defacing parks, robbing historic sites. These are our lands, yours and mine. You know, the good guys. Now, you gonna let a bunch of bad guys run us off our public lands? Or are you gonna help save the lands? Let's show these bad guys that the good guys always win.
Right, take pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland, 20794.
What up, cyberspace cadets? That's right. Ring that bell. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for the CREEM Stream. Like I said, I am Irate Prostate. And in the studio with me tonight include the one and only Atima the Hun.
Hi, everybody.
Miss Becca Farley.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Camel. Special guest tonight.
Good evening.
Roasted Opinions.
Hello, my freaky darlings.
And Stone Monkey.
I almost shit my pants.
Nice. Yeah, and Trippy.
Holy crap, that was bad.
Trippy may be making it, may not. He's got equipment issues. We'll pray. We'll pray for his equipment issues. Yeah. Anywho, so is everybody doing good? You having a good week?
Yeah, actually, my daughter turned 9, and on the same day, I got kicked out of Walmart because they didn't like the mask I was wearing.
What? There's got to be a story there. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I wear a gypsy face veil to the store because I don't do well with not breathing. So the mask mandate up here is, kind of cucky and stupid. So,
right on
I'm
cue.
not really right on cue. I'm not really supposed to wear a mask at all according to the mandate, but the what's the words I'm looking for here? The Karens that aren't female but are, and I don't know what we call these male Karens, but these motherfuckers these dudes get off on bitching at people. Now, I've been going to the fucking Walmart with this stupid yellow shiny gypsy veil for 7 fucking months. And, sorry, I'm really pissed, so it's hard to put the words together, and I'm really irritated by it.
You're good.
Like, I'm really, really irritated. So I've had, like, 2 managers say that's a really cool mask. What a smart way to, like, you know, try to get along. And then I've had a couple of employees, numerous employees, say they really like the mask. And lots of the customers in the store say they really like the mask. And I've only had one, like, shitty old lady complain about my mask. And other than that, it's all been pretty positive. Well, all of a sudden, fucking January 26th, next thing I fucking know, I'm being told I can't come back to the store anymore if I'm going to wear this mask by some assistant manager. Yeah. Yeah. So we tried calling the manager and got shit.
Well, fuck.
So, yeah, they didn't even call us back. So, and that's the only Walmart Supercenter within, like, I don't know, an hour of here. I think I have to drive all the way out to Forest Glen, which is like twice as far as Tigard.
Jesus.
Fuck.
So, oh well, I guess it's really I don't shop at Walmart very often, huh? The dude was all like, and the assistant manager was all like, well, you could just use our online services. And I don't know if y'all have ever experienced a Walmart on the West Coast, but expecting a Walmart employee on the West Coast to know how to fucking wash their own ass correctly, let alone read a list and put shit in a bag, it's way above their pay grade, dude. It's
That's
beyond these.
Not a joke either. It's
so
it's pretty freaking
It's
scary.
got Timba feeling some kind of way.
well, dude, what the fuck, man?
I feel you. I dig it. You know, people, man, you know, it's like, I don't know, man. Some people just can't not keep from sticking their own head up their asses, you know? And some people, I guess they prefer it up there. I don't know.
It must feel
warm
good.
and cozy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just must feel good to be that retarded.
Indeed. Indeed.
Mama always said no brains, no headaches. But, you know, Jeff, fuck you, Jeff.
Hey, let's say hey to Gamer Valine. Hey, what's up? Mason Mulpus. Dude, I got a chance to DM with that guy. He's cool. Of course, Roasted. And Roasted's brother, is... oh, shit, what does he go by?
Taterator.
Taterator. There he is. Okay. I got him. That's right. Carl de Groza. Soradamantine. I salute you both. Yes, double salute. A cheroot salute. Check your logic. Snugs McLeod. Mr. Scott Awesome. Greetings on Twitch.
Hey, Mr. Scott.
Mr. Scott Awesome. Nice. Thank you. Tyro, what's up?
I gotta remember how to host on there so I can host when you're on.
Dang, we got a thing going on here. Okay, well, shit. Y'all ready to move in? It was like we were backstage, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Talking about you know, there is an upside to the next 4 years. Okay, we're going to be exposed to the most cringiest, critical race horse shit that you're ever gonna. I mean, you can't imagine the abundance of this insanity that's going to be just pouring out of Washington, man. Oh, it's like if you are out of tears because of crying, you just start laughing, man. That's where we got to go with this thing. That's my opinion.
Don't you dare start crying on this bullshit. Don't you dare start crying on this bullshit. Don't you dare give these people that kind of fucking energy. Just figure out ways to make them look stupid. They happen to do it for themselves most of the time. So,
Figure out ways to make them look stupid. Just sit back and cross your arms and wait.
Exactly.
They make themselves look stupid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You don't even really have to do anything. You can just stand there like Groucho Marx with your fucking cigar and go tip, tip, tip. See what I'm saying? You know?
I want to work with Republicans. Well, I want to work with you too. And no, I don't want to work with you. You tried to have me murdered 3 weeks ago.
Well, I want to work with Republicans, but reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Which
Unity.
we all knew that they were going to do anyway.
Come on, it puts the U in
Anybody
unity.
with half a
Come on.
brain knew.
You got to be unified with us.
Unity.
And what that means is that you have to acquiesce and mold yourself to the way we want you to be. And
Yeah,
if you can't do
I
that
have a
yourself,
different concept of unity.
we got a school for you. We call it school.
Ooh.
Put it that way.
I like school.
Yeah, it's boarding school with bars. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, enough for the cheerful shit, huh? We'll move to the main room, and Demon Tranny.
So if we all thought the 8 years of Obama was bad, dude, y'all buckle up.
But it's all the insanity and the absurdity is just going to make it. We got to just get comedy out of this. That's the only way we can, and maybe legal weed, and federally. So.
But Atima, how can you say 8 years of Obama was bad? There were no controversies at all.
Zero.
Yeah, because BLM wasn't founded.
Well, what we're going to do, it's interesting you should say that, okay? Because one of the reels for tonight's footage has got some stuff about something that happened under the Obama administration. And it has to do with Biden's hires, specifically the climate czar and the EPA. So anywho, hey, Bullwinkle, hey man, MC, what's up? I'm just seeing some other names. Nostradamus, greetings. People just sliding in, slipping and sliding. Good deal. Well, Priest made it. So the demon tranny can go away.
Yeah.
Just throw me a super chat of any kind. Pay my nipples.
You know you want
to. I don't know.
It doesn't even have to be a big super chat. Just any kind of super chat will get the demon tranny to go away.
Every $5 you said you give to R8, there's another bong hit I'll take.
I'm just going to go ahead and give it to myself. Oh.
La 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 la. Do not do that in public, irate.
What are you doing?
I don't
know.
know.
Give it to yourself. Sorry.
What the fuck?
What?
I was confused, man. I thought you were saying no.
No, I was making a joke. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. All right. So Demon Tranny. All right, we'll disappear the Demon Tranny and the flames, and now we're in our 2 minutes of hate.
Uh-oh.
Well, thank you, Johnny Hellcat. All right, man. I just anticipated your awesomeness, and you had me at pinched nipples. Well, I'm glad I can accommodate there, sir. Damn, Bullwinkle who gives a 5 and says buy some ice cream. Well, shit, you can't turn that down, man. This 2 minutes of hate's turning into 2 minutes of awesome. I don't know. I'm not even keeping clock. I'm sorry. Can y'all see that? What's on? It should be on the screen by now.
We see Bullwinkle telling us to buy some ice cream. 2 scoops. Everybody get your 2 scoops.
Yeah, you see when behind it, it's Ink Sock. The 2 minutes of hate from the movie 1984.
I didn't even notice, dude.
Isn't that cool? I found that GIF. Yeah, I know. I half the time I do is spend uploading GIFs and GIFs or whatever you want to call them to the what is the I call it the toilet. Yes, the toilet.
I'm old enough to remember when he used to be funny.
Oh, Gamer Valine saying it's a slow night. So hop on in. Let me tell her to hop in. Now I have to roll her so she can see the place. Gamer Valine. Gamer Valine. What is making that noise?
I'm sorry, it's probably my keyboard.
No, it's like a it's like a it sounds like a plug.
Small popping sound?
Yeah, it's kind of a popping pluggy noise.
My bad. That was me hitting my mute to clear my throat.
Oh, okay. All right, and I got a roller now. All right.
We got a super chat from Addy.
Oh shit.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Sir Adamantine. That's awesome, man. You said I obey. That's nice. I appreciate people being nice, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Don't you love that sound?
Really deserves it. He works hard. He does a lot of work for these shows, guys.
Oh yeah. I like that that cat. It's pretty cool. So
Meow.
yeah, y'all see in a minute. Gamer girl? Hey.
Huh?
We can't hear you, Valine.
Chasting, 1, 2. Valine. We can't hear.
Muted.
I don't know. She shouldn't be muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Better.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Gamer Valine.
Hello.
How's your day been?
A little busy at first, but slow now.
Well, good.
Sound bored.
Hello.
Hello.
You sound bored, she said.
She might be having connection issues or something.
I lost that right there too.
Yeah, my bad. Discord.
Hello.
Testing 1, 2. It's all right.
Oh. I'm sorry. I just realized my sound was in the background odd.
I tell you. I see.
My computer hit. I hit play again somehow on my new mouse because I've got a macro mouse.
Nice. Remember the what are they called? Trackballs, man?
No, it's a gaming mouse that I can program macros onto, and I haven't quite programmed
Oh, okay, all right. So it's got a lot of clicky clicks on it.
It has a full keypad on the side, so
nice.
I'm trying to reduce input sound in a more cost-effective way for streams, so it's quieter than my keyboard.
Yeah, keyboard. I have a mechanical keyboard, and I know it's noisy.
Yeah.
I'm making noise right now. Sorry about that, y'all. I just all right. So
I am testing out a new NVIDIA software the next time I'm on OBS because they have this NVIDIA software that's supposed to eliminate mechanical keyboard sounds.
Oh wow.
That would be wonderful.
All right, here we go.
I'm happy about that.
All right, we should be able to. All right, there. Yeah, we should be able to see Michelle Malkin. So are y'all ready to jump into the video part of this thing?
I'm ready.
I'm sorry, she looks like somebody just goosed her.
Uh-oh.
Who does? Oh yeah, Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. All right. Give me a second. I gotta. Oh, this is such. Stop it. All right. There we go. There we go. It's Michelle. And I'm going to need to turn it just down just a wee bit. And on my mark, we'll start rocking. This is kind of like the there's two standout things that I found, and this is kind of the best of the rest, or the stuff that it's.
We are in the midst of the greatest media gaslighting campaign in modern American history. Just surf the Silicon Valley-controlled news headlines. Story after story breathlessly warning of the reign of right-wing terrorism. What's fueling the growth of right-wing terrorism? That's CNN. Global right-wing extremism networks are growing, the Soros-funded ProPublica website warns. Right-wing menace will now be a regular feature of American politics, the Washington Post declares. As you all know, 25,000 National Guard troops were dispatched to quell all this alleged rise in right-wing extremism. In a melodramatic act of kabuki theater, Democrats turned D.C. into a militarized bubble zone more heavily fortified than the Baghdad Green Zone. And yes, I know, I was in Iraq's Green Zone in 2007. But it wasn't Trump supporters who wrought havoc and incited hatred and perpetrated violence this inauguration week. No, it was the same old Antifa and Black Lives Matter rioters who've terrorized our country for the past 4 years without a peep of worry from the concern trolls at CNN, ProPublica, and the Washington Post. Their anarchist banners, decorated with rifles, demanded revenge against police. And here they are destroying the Democrat headquarters in Portland.
Oh, that's not the first time they've done that in the last couple of years either.
No, it wasn't.
They do
In
it
Seattle,
all the time,
the Antifa storm.
Yeah, this is kind of stuff that she's like kind of chronically like telling. So, it's like it's really a week old, the information, but she's
troopers, yes, that's
illustrating.
what they are, also took to the streets, smashing, trashing, looting, and burning everything in sight, including the iconic original Starbucks downtown.
8th Tennessee Marine.
What, the original one? Oh.
Yeah.
That's
The rioters targeted police, federal courthouse workers, and federal ICE agents. They tossed rocks at journalists, they shut down traffic, and they rampaged the streets with impunity as usual.
We made sure we kept our distance because this group was so volatile and unpredictable. I mean, just look at how they smashed up this federal courthouse. Now, there were only about 50 or 60 of them, but for a short time, they seemed to have the run of the city. Vandals spent extra time at this building where Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has one of its offices. On the street out front, they burned a flag and littered the roadway with newspaper racks, rental bicycles, and construction barricades to disrupt traffic as people headed through downtown Seattle during the evening commute.
So where are all the Democrat leaders who suddenly discovered this newfound respect for police and the troops after the January 6th protest in D.C.? Oh, and where are all the FBI billboards seeking information on the Black Bloc insurrectionists? In every city now across the heartland, the FBI is hunting down every last Trump supporter who showed up at the Capitol on January 6th. The feds are urging Americans to snitch on conservatives in the name of public safety and national security.
The FBI out of Albany expects more arrests in the region and is asking for local leads using a billboard along I-690, one of thousands of similar billboards up across the country.
This is scaring the fuck out of me, y'all. This whole Stasi number that's starting to happen with kids turning their parents in and shit. And now
it's happening more and more too.
Exactly. And now this, the FBI, rewarding people to turn in their neighbors,
Well, if you see something, say something. How long has this been a thing? Janet Napolitano was pushing it.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like it's coming up now. The way that the thrust is different, I think, is what
the thrust is different. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
A new digital billboard in southern Indiana is encouraging people to report tips about the deadly Capitol riot last week. It sits off I-265. The FBI has already opened hundreds of criminal cases into what sparked a large group to storm the Capitol while Congress was certifying the Electoral College votes. Federal investigators have been using social media to post pictures of people who were allegedly involved as they try to find more information about those responsible.
Thousands of those billboards. The FBI praised the private outdoor advertisers for their swift cooperation.
The outdoor advertisers' willingness to assist in bringing these criminals to justice, as well as the speed in which they are able to publicize crucial public safety information, is a credit to those organizations.
The mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6th to try to stop Congress from carrying out its constitutional responsibilities were behaving like domestic enemies of our country. But let's be clear. The John Brennans, Adam Schiffs, and the oligarchs in big tech who are trying to undermine our constitutionally protected rights and turn our country into a police state with KGB-style surveillance are also domestic enemies, and much more powerful and therefore dangerous than the mob that stormed the Capitol. Now,
that's base shit right there. Man,
she's not wrong.
Dude, and she's been telling it like it is for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
John Brennan said,
So I know looking forward that the members of the Biden team who have been nominated or have been appointed are now moving in laser-like fashion to try to uncover as much as they can about what looks very similar to insurgency movements that we've seen overseas, where they germinate in different parts of the country and they gain strength, and it brings together an unholy alliance frequently of religious extremists, authoritarians, fascists, bigots, racists, nativists, even libertarians.
Now, President Biden, I call up...
What? Libertarians?
Yeah, the guys that want
Follow
everybody
the non
just mind their own business and keep the government out of everyday life. Yeah, those people are radical. They're such a threat to everybody else because they want to mind their own business.
Oh, it's because they can't
follow the non-aggression principle.
Right. And TM, man, you're right, dude. It's both sides suck ass. You know, it's like you got one for each cheek.
Oh yeah.
Upon you and all members of Congress from both parties to denounce these efforts by the likes of Brennan and others to take away our civil liberties that are endowed to us by our Creator and guaranteed in our Constitution. If you don't stand up to these people now, then our country will be in great peril.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight you are watching the Free Speech Channel. That's what it is, the last one left. For the next hour, we're going to say exactly what we believe is true, period. It's still America. The first point to make, an obvious point that has now been banned as a thought crime in the rest of the media, is that the United States government should never, under any circumstances, favor one race of people over any other race of people, period. That is immoral. We're all citizens. We're all human beings. We're all created by God. We are all equal. Every one of us has a right to equal treatment by our government. That right is guaranteed by our Constitution. It's the heart of countless laws passed with well-deserved fanfare by our Congress over many decades. That right is inscribed on a monument on our National Mall to the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who would be shocked and disgusted if he watched Susan Rice on television today. Susan Rice is Joe Biden's chief domestic policy advisor. Rice is in charge of changing our country to conform to the orthodoxies of the Democratic Party. How does Susan Rice plan to do that? Well, going forward, she announced this afternoon, quote, every agency in the U.S. government, the government that is, by the way, the largest and most lavishly funded organization in human history, every one of them will, quote, place equity at the core of its policy design, specifically and for the benefit of, quote, marginalized communities. Now, Susan Rice's speech was carried live by many news outlets, but as far as we know, not a single one of them paused to ask what exactly she was talking about. And they should have. The federal government is, above all, an enormous printing press. It manufactures U.S. currency. It dispenses trillions of dollars every year. According to Rice, much of that money will now be distributed on the basis of equity. That means it will go to people who do not possess, quote, privilege. So let's get very specific about what that means. What precisely is privilege? Can privilege be measured? If so, how exactly are we measuring it? Can we see the privilege formula? We should see it, because a huge amount turns on the definition of this word. Some Americans won't get jobs because it's been decided they have too much privilege. Others won't get into college or get promoted or win federal contracts. Others will see their neighborhoods change dramatically in ways they may not like because of their privilege. They'll tell you that's not true, but it is true. And before any of that happens, the rest of us deserve a clear explanation of what's going on. Who's getting rewarded, who's getting punished, and why? We don't have to ask politely. We're American citizens. This is our government, no matter who we voted for. We're paying for it. So we can demand an answer. But of course, there isn't an answer. That's the point. They can't really define privilege. They can't tell us who, in a country with no majority culture, actually qualifies as a, quote, minority. They don't want to have this conversation in the first place at all. because their views are indefensible. That's why they're general rather than precise. That's why they're trying to make us be quiet. You see those efforts all around you now. Never in American history has there been press censorship on this scale. As we noted at the top, Fox News is the last significant media organization remaining in this country that allows its employees to tell obvious truths in public. The rest of them have been muzzled or shut down completely. The last to go was the social media site Parler, which was created as a free speech alternative to the Silicon Valley monopolies like Twitter and Facebook. A few weeks ago, those very same monopolies pulled it right off the internet. Parler no longer exists. When the history of this period is written, the destruction of Parler will get its own chapter. And so will these people, the mindless corporate shills who applauded its destruction.
Parler has zero moderation. The whole point is that this is a completely free community that you can say what you want. What it tends to have done is attracted very hard right conservatives, conspiracy theorists, racists. It's garbage. I mean, the stuff on Parler is remarkable garbage.
Oh, the stuff on Parler is remarkable garbage, announces.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they do.
Has Ollie ever been on Twitter?
Yes.
Yes.
That's Ollie Velshi, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
has,
Ollie
has,
Velshi.
has he ever taken a gander around Twitter? It's a fucking dumpster fire of the highest level.
Yeah, he would call Twitter a mostly peaceful protest.
Of course, yeah.
Well, he would call it mostly peaceful discourse too, you know.
Yep.
Some low IQ thug on television. Therefore, it's totally fine, virtuous in fact, for Amazon Web Services, the largest internet hosting service in the world, to simply unplug it, to destroy it with no debate or even coherent explanation for why they did it. Why did Amazon do that? It wasn't because they were morally offended by Parler. That can't be true. Last year, according to the group Parents Together, a total of 69 million photos and videos of children being sexually abused were reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Yet only 8 of those reports came from Amazon Web Services, which was hosting quite a few of them. Why is that? Apparently, Jeff Bezos didn't consider sexual abuse videos garbage. As a director at Parents Together put it, quote, Amazon Web Services has vast resources, controls a third of cloud infrastructure services, and handles billions of uploads and downloads. Their abysmal failure to report child sex abuse material makes it clear they're not looking for it. And of course they're not looking for it. Whatever you think of kiddie porn, it's not like it's right-of-center politics, so Jeff Bezos doesn't need to censor it. We should also tell you that Amazon Web Services provides hosting services to Twitter. And according to a new lawsuit, Twitter, quote, benefited from and neglected to remove an exploitive video featuring a minor boy and another minor, which was retweeted thousands of times and received at least 160,000 views on its platform, on Twitter.
Are you fucking
The lawsuit says that the minor and his mother repeatedly asked Twitter to take down the video, the sex abuse video. But Twitter refused to do so until the Department of Homeland Security intervened. That's what it took.
And the video was created under duress of both parties involved.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was fucking blackmail. Okay? No, this is so many levels of fucked up. It was retweeted and viewed. It was retweeted, not liked. Retweeted 167,000 times before somebody had to come in and say, you need to, you can't do this.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it's insane. As a parent, this is the terrifying thing. And I'm so glad my kids have listened to my warning about Twitter and they stay the fuck away from it.
Here.
You know this stuff's only getting started, right?
Yeah.
Facebook is eyeballing an antitrust suit against Apple because Apple's new privacy policy where Facebook will have to get your explicit permission to get any information based on your phone use coming up. And their claim is that it's going to damage small businesses.
No, it's going to damage their business.
It's fucking
because they
rich,
sell
huh?
data left, right, and center.
Yeah,
so Facebook's going to be involved in 2 antitrust lawsuits, one for and one against.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much.
Oh, yeah.
And the caveat to it is that they're doing this. They just teamed up against Parler, and now they're turning on each other.
Yeah.
They are like hungry animals. They're getting starved out and turning on each other. They're cannibalizing. The bad thing is they picked the wrong fight because Apple is notorious for taking out contracts with companies, and when those companies fail to fulfill them, that's Apple's new server room. There's one up in Tempe, north of me. It was their glass company that was supposed to be making the new Gorilla Glass or the Sapphire Glass for iPhones. It's a server room now because they couldn't meet Apple's demand, so they folded.
Wow.
See, and that's the other thing. Apple needs to be taken to task. Apple needs to be taken to task. This has gone. We're at the point now where it's.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with a couple things that Apple did. Apple requiring developers to request personal, explicit permission to even collect data based on your phone usage. I agreed with them telling the FBI, no, you set out precedent for us to have the government contract with you for the phone, so we're not going to hack into this phone and then give you tools to do warrantless searches. I agreed with all of that.
No, I'm talking about the use of forced slave labor and the manipulation of market and the abuse of copyright that they use to keep other competitors and repair people out of business.
Oh yeah, you want to get in? Oh yeah, you can get into that, and the best part is they're so tightly interwoven that most people don't even realize that they have this iPhone, and they're like, oh yeah, iPhone versus Samsung. Bitch, your iPhone's running a Samsung chip in it.
Well, and they're both listening to what you're saying, so...
Yeah.
Apple can't... No, Apple can't, because the second they get caught by the government doing it, they're fucked.
I think they're doing it. I think the government's doing it. The NSA's doing it through the equipment.
If the NSA is doing it, the NSA is a government body. If Apple's doing it on government phones, Apple gets fucked.
All right, we're gonna keep going, okay?
Okay.
All right, I gotta help Uzi real quick.
You're getting the picture. There's a lot of, quote, garbage floating around on Amazon Web Services and on Twitter. But according to our media class, none of it would justify shutting down Amazon Web Services. Incidentally, you should also know that Amazon Web Services provides web services for the CIA. You're paying for it. Amazon has built data centers in China. According to a report by the Horizon Advisory Group, Amazon runs a, quote, innovation center in close partnership with the Communist Party of China. It's not clear what they're innovating, but whatever it is, it's not a problem for our leaders because no one in the Chinese government voted for Donald Trump. It's not like they're dangerous. But you know who is dangerous? Any American citizen who doesn't agree with MSNBC. Watch.
The whole idea of prevention needs to be examined by the new Congress. What do I mean by that? We still don't have a domestic terrorism law. We still don't treat this like we do international terrorism. Change the religion of some of those people that entered the Capitol, and you've got violent jihadists. You've got the FBI with undercover informants, electronic surveillance, and agents in their groups and organizations because we've designated them as potentially violent. We've got nothing like that going on.
Oh, so the government should change the religion of those people. The government now has the right to change your religion, according to the G-Man on TV. That's a big change. When did this become a theocracy? The rest of us thought we were allowed to believe any religion we wanted to believe, even ones that Morning Joe doesn't understand or approve of. We imagined that was the whole point of America. Not anymore. Equity and inclusion means that you will believe what they tell you to believe, period, or else you're a terrorist, and they could hurt you, because we hurt terrorists. Listen to America's new Grand Inquisitor, Adam Schiff of California.
We have been urging for some time that the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security raise the priority to domestic terrorism, to white nationalism as it threatens the country. And we're going to continue sounding the alarm and make sure that they're devoting the resources, the time, the attention, just as we did after 9/11 to the threat from international terrorism. We need to give the same priority and urgency to domestic terrorism.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Yes. This dude,
Just
man.
like 9/11. Are you serious?
The
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, Adam. Sorry.
Schiff is one of those guys that just, I mean, my blood pressure just goes up. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just, I want to kill him. I want to, but in Minecraft, of course.
He's just so blatant about his lies, and it's so fucking obvious.
Yeah, it's like a fuck you. Yeah, I am lying to you, and you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, but they're believing it. They're sucking me off, right? CNN, man, they're always there to suck off the bullshit because they live for that, man. And they're in hog heaven now. You just wait.
Got that? vote the wrong way, and you are a jihadi. You thought you were an American citizen with rights and just a different view, but no, you're a jihadi. And we're going to treat you the way we treated those radicals after 9/11, the way we treated bin Laden. Get in line, pal. This is a war on terror. Keep in mind, as you listen to people talk like this, Adam Schiff is far from the only one. Keep in mind, they're talking about American citizens here. They're talking about you. But nobody seems to notice or care. One who does notice and cares quite a bit, one of the only Democrats willing to stand up and oppose this transparently fascist purge, that's what it is Tulsi Gabbard, the former member of Congress from Hawaii. Gabbard published a video message today explaining exactly what's at stake.
The John Brennans, Adam Schiffs, and the oligarchs in big tech who are trying to undermine our constitutionally protected rights and turn our country into a police state with KGB-style surveillance are also domestic enemies, and much more powerful and therefore dangerous than the mob that stormed the Capitol.
What you just heard her say is true. No matter what they tell you, no matter how much they attack the person who said it, oh, she's a tool of Assad, it's absolutely true. That is true, and God bless Tulsi Gabbard for saying so out loud.
Senator Paul, let me begin with a threshold question for you. This election was not stolen. Do you accept that fact?
Well, what I would say is that the debate over whether or not there was fraud should occur. We never had any presentation in court where we actually looked at the evidence. Most of the cases were thrown out for lack of standing, which is a procedural way of not actually hearing the question. There were several states in which the law was changed by the Secretary of State and not the state legislature. To me, those are clearly unconstitutional, and I think there's still a chance that those actually do finally work their way up to the Supreme Court. Courts traditionally and historically don't like to hear election questions. But yes, were there people who voted twice? Were there dead people who voted? Were there illegal aliens who voted? Yes, and we should get to the bottom of it. I'll give you an example. In my state, when we had a Democrat Secretary of State, she refused, even under federal order, to purge the rolls of illegal voters. We got a Republican Secretary of State, and he purged the rolls.
Senator Paul,
I have a difference, and those things
I have to stop you there. No election is perfect, but there were 86 challenges filed by President Trump and his allies in court. All were dismissed. Every state certified the results after investigations, counts, and recounts. The Department of Justice, led by William Barr, said there's no widespread evidence of fraud. Can't you just say the words, this election was not stolen?
What I would suggest is that if we want greater confidence in our elections, and 75% of Republicans agree with me, is that we do need to look at election integrity, and we do need to see if we can restore confidence in the elections.
Well, 75% of Republicans agree with you because they were fed a big lie by President Trump and his supporters who say the election was stolen. Why can't you say,
well, I think where
President Biden won a legitimate and fair election?
Hey, George, where you make a mistake is that people coming from the liberal side like you immediately say everything's a lie instead of saying there are two sides to everything. Historically, what would happen is if I said that I thought there was fraud, you would interview someone else who said there wasn't. But now you insert yourself in the middle and say the absolute fact is that everything I'm saying is a lie.
Well, because, Senator, I said what the president said was a lie because he said, hold on a second. He said the election was stolen. This election was not stolen. The results were certified in every single state after counts and recounts.
You're saying that absolutely it was. You're saying there was no fraud and it's all been investigated. That's just not true.
It's not what I said, sir. I said the Department of Justice found no evidence. Let me finish my point.
No, you said
something that was not true.
You say we're all liars. You're just simply saying we're all liars. And
I said it was a lie that the election was stolen.
Premise that you're right and we're wrong. Well, let's talk about the specifics of it. In Wisconsin, tens of thousands of absentee votes had only the name on them and no address. Historically, those were thrown out. This time they weren't. They made special accommodations because they said, oh, it's a pandemic and people forgot what their address was. So they changed the law after the fact. That is wrong. That's unconstitutional. And I plan on spending the next 2 years going around state to state and fixing these problems. And I won't be cowed by liberals in the media who say, there's no evidence here and you're a liar if you talk about election fraud. No, let's have an open debate. It's a free country.
There's no widespread evidence of election fraud that overturned the results. That was stated as well by the Department of Justice, led by President Trump's Attorney General. In Wisconsin, there were counts and recounts.
Never studied that. Even that's not true. Even that's not true.
William Barr said that directly.
Barr said that, but there was. Yes, He said that, yes, that was a pronouncement. There has been no examination, thorough examination of all the states to see what problems we had and see if they could fix them. Now, let me say, to be clear, I voted to certify the state electors because I think it would be wrong for Congress to overturn that. But at the same time, I'm not willing just to sit here and say, oh, everybody on the Republican side is a liar and there is no fraud. No, there were lots of problems, and there were secretaries of state who illegally changed the law, and that needs to be fixed. And I'm going to work hard to fix it, and I won't be cowed by people saying, oh, you're a liar. That's the problem with the media today, is they say all Republicans are liars and everything we say is a lie. There are two sides to every story. Interview somebody on the other side, but don't insert yourself into the story to say we're all liars because we think there's some fraud in the election.
There are not two sides of the story. This has been looked at in every single state.
And it's just like he's saying, don't insert yourself. He's saying, fuck you, I'm inserting myself.
Yes. Do we know why he inserted himself? Because Amy Klobuchar's connection crapped out. It was supposed to be Rand and Amy Klobuchar sitting there talking back and forth.
So you're going to back up George Stephanopoulos on his behavior?
Oh, God, no. God, no.
Okay.
I'm saying the reason why he did it is because the Democrat that was supposed to be there couldn't make it, so he had to carry her water for her.
Yes. He had to make the left's argument because the lefty couldn't connect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a shitbag of the highest order. I'm not defending him in the least.
Yeah. He was press secretary for Billy Jeff.
Oh, sure there are. There are two sides to every story. George, you're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting who you are as a journalist. If you think there's only one side, you're inserting yourself into the story to say, I'm a liar because I want to look at election fraud and I want to look at secretaries of state who illegally changed the voter laws without the permission of their state legislatures. That is incontrovertible. It happened. And you can't just sweep it under the rug and say, oh, nothing to see here, and everybody's a liar and you're a fool if you bring this up. You're inserting yourself into the story. A journalist would hear both sides, and there are two sides to this story.
I'm standing by facts. There are not two sides to facts. I did not say that this was a perfect election. I said the results were certified. I said it was not stolen. It is a lie to say
people are liars. You're saying people are liars if they want to investigate what happened in the election. Should we investigate the fact that tens of thousands of absentee ballots did not have addresses on them and normally were disqualified, but this time they were counted? Should we examine that? I don't know whether it affected the election or not, but I have an open mind, and if we actually examine this and we find out it didn't, that's fine, but it still should be fixed.
There can be more investigations. The investigations that have taken place have shown there is not enough fraud to change the results of this election.
Not enough,
that has been certified by every state.
Fraud.
It was stated by the Justice Department and the Attorney General.
And I accepted the state certifications, but it doesn't mean that I think that there wasn't fraud and that there weren't problems that have to be investigated, and it doesn't mean that the law wasn't broken. I believe in Pennsylvania they broke the law, and I believe if that ever would get a real hearing in the Supreme Court, it was denied for standing. It wasn't actually taken up. If it were taken up, I do believe that the Supreme Court would overrule and say that they did break the law illegally.
I asked you a very simple question. Was the election stolen or not?
I think there was a great deal of evidence of fraud and changing of the election laws illegally, and I think a thorough investigation is warranted.
So it's the court's fucking
Senator Paul, thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, right? What were you saying, Gamer Valine? I heard you.
I said it's the court's fault because they wanted evidence to grant a subpoena to search some of the machines in one or two of the cases that were the larger cases, but they couldn't get the evidence without having a subpoena.
Right.
So
because they went based off, usually for subpoenas you need probable cause. The court demanded a higher tier, and they were asking for evidence that you can't get without the subpoena. Yes.
Well, D-Lab.
Usually with subpoenas, all you need is probable cause. They raised the standard.
Yeah, they raised it. They basically made it the parallel of a warrant.
Right.
And that's bullshit. That's not how subpoenas work in any other case.
Typically, no.
I mean, shit, if they wanted to find some shit on me, they'd get, and they had probable cause, a subpoena would be granted over the damn phone.
Yeah. But they had to get a signature.
Yeah, they have to get an affidavit from someone.
Yeah.
It should have gone to the FISA court. I heard they love to hand out stuff like that.
Yeah, man. They used to say, "Hey, look, yeah, man, just trust me, trust me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sign here, Judge. It's all good.
That's right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Here we go.
Welcome back to Dr. Gina Prime Time. Now, whether we like it or not, the impeachment trial is coming to the Senate, and whether it's constitutional or not, it's likely going to happen. So will the Republicans in the Senate stick together and stand up to reject this ridiculous impeachment sham number 2? Let's ask Senator Rand Paul. Senator, good to see you. Great to have you. I believe this is your maiden
Holy
voyage
crap,
on my
those earrings
show.
are huge.
Senator, the obvious question first. How can you hold an impeachment trial for someone who's no longer in office?
Well, I don't think it is constitutional. The Constitution is pretty plain on this. It says that you can impeach someone to remove them from office, and that if you want to disqualify them from office, it's impeachment and disqualification. And Alan Dershowitz wrote about this the other day. He says it's not impeachment or disqualification, it's impeachment and disqualification. But you can't impeach somebody from office who's already left. And even the Democrats are acknowledging this. Even the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court really is acknowledging this, because the Chief Justice says, well, guess what? I'm not coming over, because an impeachment is for the president, and Trump is no longer the president. So it's really a bizarre notion that they think that the American public are going to accept this as legitimate when the guy in charge of it's going to be a partisan Democrat who already voted for impeachment once.
Yeah, exactly. Will there be an opportunity, sometimes things that we don't like, court cases, for example, that we think are stupid, still provide an opportunity for us to lay out facts that we wouldn't otherwise get to lay out before the American public, and so they backfire in some situations. Will there be an opportunity to lay out the election irregularities in the Senate trial, and will the mainstream media be able to continue to ignore all the facts that you so eloquently pointed out? We showed most of that interview, actually, with George Stephanopoulos, that interview that you did in our first block, but we'll show more of it. But I want to know if we'll be able to put some of those facts out before the people, because the media has done a very good job of actually covering most of what you illuminated up completely.
The interesting thing about an impeachment, and the sort of unfortunate thing is, at least from the senator's point of view, is we don't really get to talk. And there's not much argumentation or debate from senators. The president's lawyers will get to make a case, and the president and his lawyers will make the decision on what that case is. I continue to say, and will continue to say, that yes, there was fraud in the election. Whether or not it affected the election, we would only know if we investigated it. But since they have done everything possible to block an investigation, they say, oh, well, the courts have heard this. Well, the courts didn't hear this. Almost every one of the court cases were dismissed on standing, which is a procedural, way of the court saying we don't really want to hear this. And so they dismiss these things. But the battle is not over. And this is what I tell our people, because I know people are very frustrated. I talk to people at home, all the hardcore people that worked so hard for the president. They're like, I'm giving up. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm getting out of politics because, nobody would defend the president. But I continue to defend the president, continue to defend the electoral integrity. And the way I'm going to do it is I plan on going to 35 state legislatures, the ones controlled by Republicans, and I plan on getting legislation introduced that will restore confidence. So number one, the legislation should forbid anybody from mailing or accessing applications to vote other than the individual voter. So you should have to put your own identifying information in to get an application to vote. We shouldn't have MoveOn.org soliciting you, but we also should not have the government of Georgia soliciting you to vote. That needs to be an individual voter function the way it's always done. We need to purge the rolls routinely and mandatorily. In my state, we had a Democrat she was the Secretary of State for 8 years. The federal government, through court order, told her she had to purge the rolls. She never did for 8 years. We finally elected a Republican, and last year we were fortunate that Republican Secretary of State actually went through and started purging the rolls of illegal voters. So there's a lot of things we can do, but since the elections are run at the state.
Paused.
Uh-oh.
Irate.
I don't think I rated.
He's muted.
Uh-oh.
Of course, I had to boom or something at some point in time. Yeah, but what I was saying is like they won't fire the bitch, or whoever, there's no penalty. They're not in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's just she just they told her to get rid of the voter rolls and she wouldn't do it. And it's like, well, okay. So pretty please next time, maybe
send her a gift card for something, and like their ass too, and hope for the best.
Right.
I'm so tired of these people getting away with their bullshit.
No shit, man.
Level, we need to do it at the state legislative level. So what I tell people is, don't give up on politics. Become more active at the state legislative level if you want to fix the elections.
And I think that's the way we have to look at this shit, people. Is that we gotta start on a local level, and because that's where fucking Soros is starting to put money in DAs and stuff, and we can't have that, right? I don't know why they don't say he's foreign interference, but then again, that's a whole nother ball of wax. We'll keep rolling. Sorry.
And I think a lot of people have speculated that the real motive here is to stop the president from running again, to humiliate him, to teach a lesson to people to sort of never, engage in these kinds of things again.
I think she's a doctor like Jill Biden's a doctor. You know what I'm saying?
But here's my thought. As you mentioned, we talk to people every day who are, sad and they're down and they're maybe going to step out. They believe their vote doesn't count. They believe their voice doesn't count. Even for those who do think their voice still counts, they're afraid their job's going to be affected. They're going to get canceled. They may have investigators show up at their front door. People are getting arrested. Citizens, activists, innocent people all the time. They get beat up like you did just for being at home. And so it's a hard thing to be a Trump supporter. People say it every single day. So my question for you, Senator, because I want to talk to not the Trump campaign workers, not even the senators and the congressmen, and not even the high profile activists. I want to talk to the mom and pop who are watching this show right now, who have been through this whole thing. And I want you to tell them what they can do to support your action in 35 states, because this is really important what you're doing. And I love this. And that's why I called our friend Sergio and said, I've got to get the senator on my show tonight, because there is a world out there who is hurting and discouraged right now. And I want you to talk to them and tell them what are their action steps to help you with this, Senator, and how can we be a part of this?
The first thing you need to do is call up your state representative. State representative has a fairly small block of people that they represent. You can probably get their phone number. You can call them. Most state representatives you can probably call at their house and talk to them. You call them up and you say, look, I'm concerned. I don't know that my vote's counting, and I want the election to have more integrity. I want people to have to show an ID. I don't want people voting by mail. I want this to be an election that I can believe in the next time around. And you say, I want election reforms. And even if you live in a Republican state, precisely if you live in a Republican state, you have a chance of fixing this. But they won't do it unless they get hundreds and hundreds of phone calls. So rather than give up on this, get back involved and get involved at the local level. The other thing about it is most elections that are big and beyond us, either Congress, Senate, or the president, we think, oh, how could we ever influence that? 'Cause it's so big. You can influence it, but it's harder. State rep race, if you and 20 people got together and said, we're going to support so-and-so because this guy or this woman won't do election reform, you can win a state rep seat. State rep seats are winnable at the local level with local activism. So I'd say by all means do it. But I would also say don't give up. And I'll give you an example from my family. In 1976, my dad lost an election by 200 votes out of 200,000. But interestingly, we found precincts where people voted, sometimes 13 people voted from one house. They voted from vacant lots. They voted from P.O. boxes. We found an entire precinct in the same handwriting, 100% turnout where he got 0 votes. So irregularities, fraud, these kind of things have happened. We came back the next time and he won by about 500 or 1,000 votes, but we got poll watchers in every precinct. We went to the precincts where Republicans normally don't get votes, and we sat down at the table and they sat there and watched them count the votes, so they couldn't count the votes with just the Democrats around. And guess what? You can win, but you have to do this. And I think it's terrible what happened the last election, but we can't give up. We just have to keep fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And to know the facts, like you said in that interview that we played in the first segment, to know the facts of what happened in this election and to be able to repeat them calmly as you did in that interview with Mr. Stephanopoulos. And I think to be able to point to standing as the reason that all of those cases were thrown out, that is so important to understand that there's a difference between losing a case and for it to be thrown out because of standing, so critical. And also to be able to point to one fact that you pointed to, Senator, that I think was so critical, and that is that what Mr. Stephanopoulos did in that interview was to step in as your opponent, rather than to have someone on that show with you to take you on. He stood there, called you a liar, and said, and acted as your opponent, rather than letting there be a media debate with him as a moderator. That's how media has changed. Phenomenal job, Senator. I don't usually gush all over my guests like this, but I really just thought that was exceptional, and I wish our other senators and elected officials would stand the way you did in that particular interview and would be taking action that would prevent election foul-ups in the future so that people could feel confident in their votes. That's all we're asking for, free and fair elections. Thank you for fighting for them.
Thank you.
Drunken.
All right, coming up, COVID is disappearing now that Biden has entered the Oval Office. It's quite miraculous, and we're going to tell you more about it up next. More Dr. Gina Primetime coming up. Stick around.
Who seek blame and revenge, and who choose to pervert a constitutional process while doing so.
If I could jump
I
in
want
for a
this
minute,
body on
Ira.
record. Every last person here. Is this how you think politics should be?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Hello?
Yeah. If we could explain to the chat if anyone's wondering why roasted might sound a little different right now.
Yeah. All right. So you guys tagged out Colleen?
Yeah, I tagged out back a segment or so ago. I was the one that just said at the beginning of this last segment with bleach blonde Barbie here and the wind chime earrings. I quickly jumped in and said that, yeah, those earrings look huge.
Nice. Does everybody know Colleen Bernier? She's known by reputation as being one of the sole news providers for the Lords of the
Florida
Night.
Correspondent.
That's right. The senior Florida correspondent. And, you know, Drunken Uncle, I don't know if I can handle him coming in here, man.
Do not stalk you, Drunkle.
He is definitely wasted now.
Is he?
Drunkle? Where's the
Unless he just woke
Drunkle
up.
wasted? No.
There is a small chance that he just woke up.
I mean, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. It's about 6 a.m. there, isn't it?
Hey, man, you know, anything to keep the shakes away, right?
I just thought it might be a good idea because I've been I just tagged in on his computer, so instead of like jumping in on my own, it was just easier to pick up on his.
Yeah.
So I'm on his name right now, and I know it was confusing a few people that I was talking to in chat, like Mason, like what's the Colleen thing? But yes, for those who don't know, this is the Colleen Bernier of Lords of the Night MSS News segment. I'm stepping in for Roasted because, as some people may know, or I don't know who does, who doesn't, Roasted and I have been a couple for a while, so he had to step out for a bit to go pick up his sister at work and give her a ride. So I told him I would tag in.
Sweet.
Cool. You're
real chatty, man. I don't remember you being this chatty even back in the day when we used to do the adamantine streams on Saturday afternoons. You'd be quiet as a mouse over there. It's nice to hear you chatting up and
not always, but keep in mind how big Addie's streams get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's but you've got that you got that Yankee shit going on. You got an attitude, and I like it.
Yankee shit, bite me.
It's like you're like half Irish and half French.
Out of the ones that I know of, Irish, French, Portuguese, Scottish, Polish, German.
That's right. I was just saying because your name is Colleen and then Bernier. It's like anyway. It was funny in my mind. It really was. And and we'll keep rolling. All right, people. We should be done with this reel, man. It's like going on forever, man. It's like,
look, we've now got crazy partisans on the other side of the aisle trying to censor and remove 2 of the Republican senators for their political position. Now, look, I disagreed. I don't think Congress should overturn the Electoral College. But impeaching or censoring or expelling a member of Congress you disagree with? Is the truth so narrow that only you know the truth? We now have the media on your side saying there is only one set of facts, one set of truth, and you can only interpret it this way. Now we have 7 senators on the other side trying to expel, censor, or impugn 2 senators on this side. And I defend them, not because I defend their position. I disagreed with their position. But you can't impeach, censor, expel people you disagree with. What's this coming to? In a few minutes, I will insist on a vote to affirm that this proceeding we are about to enter is unconstitutional, that impeachment of a private citizen is illegal and essentially a bill of attainder. and that no sense of fairness or due process would allow the judge in the proceeding to be a partisan Democrat already on favor of the impeachment. A sham, this is.
It is a story that demands our attention, demands our focus, even though so many Americans feel desensitized. Biden continues to warn the death toll will continue to rise, and models show the same.
I'm just Mr. Doom and Gloom today. Just Mr. Doom and Gloom.
How does a medical doctor...
Sorry.
How does a medical doctor have a better political position and knowledge than career politicians like Pelosi?
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's fabulous.
Yeah. Well, we've got Mr. Brian. You know, he loves to smell Mr. Don's fingers.
I love Brian.
Yes.
It's a nuisance money.
Yeah. You know, he literally got the job because he had a hate blog. Like a Republican hate blog. And he literally just jumped to the top. It's like, yeah, you come on. You hate, man. You have the hate thing. All right, cool. Whatever.
I mean, I knew some ugly 15-year-old girls in high school, but damn, they're getting even worse now.
Yeah.
Drunkle says he has 30 minutes, I rate.
Well, what does that mean? I need at least 45. I mean, for God's sakes.
Oh, baby.
And some cuddling.
Yeah.
Asshole. Come on in, man. Do you not have... I thought he was in my server. Can anyone find...
Get his drunk ass in here now.
You get drunken uncle. Where is he? I can't... I'm not seeing him in my Discord. I do not understand.
No, I don't see him in there either.
He left.
Drunky.
How dare you, Drunkle?
All right. Come on in, man. All right, get a little invite here. All right, bring it. Bring it, fam.
Oh, God.
And when he rolls it in, I'll have
Bring it in now.
Oh, it's gonna be so weird being on this side of a Drunkle stream.
Yeah, it is.
He's fun.
There he is. You should see us now.
Drunkle was one of the first YouTubers on this side that I started watching when I started watching YouTube.
Yeah,
Drunkle, you're muted.
Oi! Unmute your shit.
I'm fucking trying, aren't I?
There you go.
Did you just wake up?
Yo!
Hey, man.
Yo! Yo! Tio Barato. Dude, there was... Oi, you cunt. There's the whole thing about push to talk and bullshit like that.
I don't know what's...
settings.
Am I still... Oh, God, all right.
You're fine, dude. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, you can? Oh, you can? Right, okay.
Yes.
It's going on about push to talk, and I'm like, I know I'll be doing fucking push
Fuck
to
that.
talk and fucking put... Oh, God.
Shit,
guys. All right, prostate, my man. Come on, bring it in. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah.
All right, spoon me in. You got a deal. All right, I like spooning.
Be European about this. I'm gonna give you a fourth kiss. Mwah.
All righty, that's right.
European. Almost as gay as Brian Stelter.
Almost as gay as Brian Stelter, but not quite.
Not quite.
Brian Seltzer is not gay. In fact, he is the swing king.
You think so?
That sounds pretty gay.
Wait, that's Brian Setzer. I'm thinking Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, you think of the Stray Cats, Brian Setzer. Yeah.
Okay, you got me. How you doing, prostate?
Man, I'm good. How are you doing?
How's your balls?
They're comfortable right now, actually.
Yeah, they're good. Who else have we got in here? Anyway, shit. Artema the Hun. Nice name. Becca Farrell. Hey, girl. Gamer Levine. Hey, girl.
Hi, Drunkle.
Hey, how you doing, Mum? Hey, come on, roasted opinions. I only give a fuck about Gamer Levine right now.
Hey, Uncle Drunkle, it's roasted opinions is actually Colleen Bernier. You know Colleen, man? Yeah.
No.
She's the Florida correspondent.
And then Stone Monkey is the bottom here.
Well, shit.
I'm just filling in for roasted for a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to say you sound a lot more masculine than he normally does.
Damn.
Ah, man.
So we're talking American politics. I saw from what I was observing from the stream beforehand. What in particular are we talking about today?
All right, so we're kind of running through the way that everything's being spun, given the current circumstances. Especially, we're just sliding into the COVID part of the deal.
Yeah. If you're going to do a stream about American politics, you got to slide into COVID at some point now. Have you heard that the Chinese are wanting to do swabs up the butt?
As a matter of fact, I did not put the part. Yeah, I had a little demonstration film. I was
the butt swabs. I don't consider myself a patriot by any means, but I'll tell you what, you ain't getting a goddamn swab up my goddamn sheriff's badge.
Hey, click the live button, dude, if you want to see
Spangled Banner.
After seeing the China demonstration video, I have to.
That was horrible. That was horrible, wasn't it?
It was funny.
I have to
consider
it. What I said,
the dummy looked uncomfortable.
I actually trust a government agency. I trust the TSA more than the Chinese government now. How the fuck?
Yeah.
What kind of fucking bizarro world am I living in?
Yeah, no shit.
I agree with you. I actually trust the fucking CCP more than I do the US government right now. Actually, no, they're the ones who come up with it, wasn't it? This is what I was saying to Sinatra earlier on. Like, you remember when fucking they brought out toothbrushes with the fucking tongue brush on them, and they're going, I bet we can get them to brush their tongues. Now they're going, like, how far can we go, guys? Can we get butt swabs? And half of them are going, no, we'll never.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other half are going, come on, let's see if we can, though. Come on, it'd be funny. It'd be funny if we do. Imagine if they did.
I mean, Monk was right last night saying, though, that you can get a lot of health data out of stool samples.
Yes, you can.
I don't want to know I have COVID from somebody touching my no-no square.
Well, then let's do stool samples. There's no reason for butt swabs.
Oh, there's no reason to test for something like a cold with poop.
No.
I mean, like, not a cold, but this is closer to influenza than it is a cold.
Exactly.
The cold is the common cold is a common coronavirus. Influenza
is a coronavirus. Yeah. Coronavirus only gets its name from the shape. Nothing else.
I'm talking about the test.
We're all talking about the test.
The test. The way the test works is the same way they test for the common cold. It's the same.
Yeah. Because we all get butt swabs from the common cold, don't they? I get a stick pulled out of my ass, and they go, oh, you've got a sniffle, sir. Yeah, I do now, because your swab just came out of my goddamn nose.
Hey, Drunkle, are you clicked into the view screen?
Into the stream? Yeah, I'm on you, mate. I'm on you.
All right, cool. All right, we'll roll this, man.
I'm going to be talking like this from now on.
Yeah, man, come on. Sit on down. Get your beer.
We got to represent, get her done.
Get her done.
Now, what we are seeing from the Biden White House with regards to the pandemic is a clear presentation of a national strategy, a clear break from Trump, and a lot more clarity from Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here's how Fauci put it this week on Rachel Maddow's show.
I've been wanting to come on your show for months and months. You've been asking me to come on your show for months and months, and it's just gotten blocked.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd love for him
let's call
to
it what
come
it
on
is.
his show.
It just got blocked.
Where's the
We are
thing,
now
Anthony? You weren't
hearing the
allowed
truth
on until you got
about
butt
what the
swabbed.
prior administration did to
your
hurt
head
the country's
and
response to
cough.
the pandemic. Fauci's telling us, Birx is telling us. We're going to show you more of that in a minute. So I tweeted out that video clip of Fauci, and White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain responded and said, "It is great to see Dr. Fauci on Maddow and anywhere else where he wants to speak his mind." And Maddow then responded and thanked Klain and said, "Hey, I will hold you to it." And that's the really important part.
It's just all kumbaya and just huggy, touchy. It's just the yeah. These are the motherfuckers. These are the motherfuckers that were saying, they were giving the daily count. You notice that's gone now.
I got the Biden
how we should
count.
be feeling about Rachel Maddow. Is it the left embraces her because she's got lesbian hair?
Well, she actually is a lesbian.
Yes.
Yeah, she's openly gay. Yes. Yeah.
Did anybody notice that Biden's okay with a man who looks like a 12-year-old with Benjamin Button disease or dressing up like an old man standing behind the podium, whereas Trump's like, let the adults handle this.
Yeah. It's
I will hold you to it. The Biden team is making big commitments. Now, the press will follow up and check for follow-through. I used to say during the Trump years that no president should be graded on a curve, but the Trump was. He was often graded on a curve. His team thought he was mercilessly criticized, but actually the bar was set way lower for Trump than it would have been for any other president.
Oh my God!
Many people stopped noticing his multitude of mistakes every day. Trump was constantly credited with a new tone just for being able to read the prompter.
You tell
once in a
me
while.
at what point
The bar
Biden
was
was
so
criticized
low.
for how he liked his
But not
steak.
anymore. The Biden White House is happily.
Yeah, this is the guy that went through all these tweets and counted all of Trump's misspellings.
Exactly.
Right? Did you catch that? Where it was like he had this huge screen behind him with all these tweets, and he was pointing out.
He's sitting here saying that the bar was set low for Trump.
It's misspelled. Stop it.
It wasn't actually for Trump. It was for the media. They had to get all the low-hanging fruit.
That's all they had, though.
Speaking of low-hanging
fruit, you look up his 2016 run-up. Oh, he likes his steak well done.
Who cares?
What were the other things? There was at least two more. 2 scoops of ice cream.
2 scoops
Burger
of ice cream.
stacked a mile high.
Burger, yes.
And this was like, oh, you don't want someone running your country when they want their steak well done, do you? Whereas now they go, oh, Biden, yeah, absolutely fine. Like, do you want a president who can read? Have you seen the thing he said today about? Oh, we're gonna get 50% more COVID vaccines, which means up to 300 Americans can get vaccinated.
Yes.
300, Joe.
300.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, let's not forget, Trump was the second coming of Hitler and wanted only white people to succeed, whereas Biden, it's okay if you can't decide if you're black or not. Just vote for me. And then
Look, reality is subjective.
He comes out and he says shit like that, but Trump comes out and says,
Yeah.
I like fucking my steak well done or something, and that the media goes into a goddamn frenzy. But Biden says something like, and he gets the numbers fundamentally wrong, which is fine. Maths hurts me, right? But for the president of the goddamn United States, he is reading a piece of paper. You should be able to do that at the very least.
Okay.
But no. The bar was set low for Trump. No.
Yeah,
I mean, he told a half
raising the
truth.
bar up. They are saying, hold us accountable. We will tell you the truth if you don't call us out. They are raising the bar, and so that's the work now underway for the Washington Press Corps. Let's talk about it with Karen
Listening
Ossian.
to
She's the
Biden
global
is
opinions editor
undemocratic.
for the Washington Post. Also, CNN medical analyst Dr. Seema Yasmin. She's the author of the new book, Viral BS, Medical Myths and Why We Fall for Them. And Zeke Miller is here. He's the president of the White House Correspondents Association this year, and he's a White House reporter for the Associated Press who's been covering Biden's response, his announcements about the pandemic.
Screw this.
Hi,
All right, I'm loading the new reel on here.
Oh, fuck this bitch.
Good afternoon. President Biden is continuing to follow through on his key promise to take swift
Well,
and bold action that addresses the climate
All the
crisis,
bits are in the
building
right
on his
place.
day one actions of rejoining the Paris
We'll
Agreement
circle
and
back to
strengthening
that.
our clean air and water
Isn't he
protections,
on federal
and
property
holding
right now?
leaders accountable. Today, he will take executive action to tackle the climate
Isn't
crisis
she
at
on
home
federal
and abroad,
property?
while creating
Well said.
good-paying union jobs, building sustainable infrastructure, and delivering environmental
Rules don't
justice.
apply when you're speaking
I'm
into
thrilled
a
today, as a
mic.
part of our effort to bring policy experts into the briefing room, we're joined by two very special guests who are going to
But that would
talk to
amplify
all
the
about today's
COVID.
executive orders and take a few questions as well. And I will always play the role of bad cop when they have to go. National Climate Advisor Gina McCarthy,
Liberal
and
science.
Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, and my former boss, former Secretary of State John Kerry, and a big day for Boston in the briefing room. So, okay, with that, go ahead.
Thank you. It's a big day for Boston every day. Thank you, everybody. Today, President Biden will build on the actions he took on day one, and he'll take more steps to fulfill commitments he made to tackle the climate crisis while creating good-paying union jobs and achieving environmental justice. In his campaign, he invited...
Environmental justice. Exactly. Exactly.
Here's
Look-
article, right? Earlier on, I saw an article. It was the woman who did the ASL sign language, which is, ASL, American Sign Language for Trump.
Yeah.
When he was talking, and they're going, "Oh,
Cancel.
she should be fired because she has right-wing ties." Now, here's the thing. Now, she is purely translating, but also on the top of that, anyone who is deaf because of the masks that are being worn can't lip read.
Right.
So
yeah.
you need a translator
Like
more.
a cheap
So,
horn.
so you are firing someone because they did their job.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
Exactly.
much. She's
All right.
she's actually mute.
The all right. What's going on with this woman here is really checking this shit
President
out.
has put forward the most ambitious climate vision
Yeah.
that any presidential ticket had ever embraced. And he spent more time
Yeah, she's pretty butch. I mean, come on. We get it.
campaigning on climate than we have ever seen. The president also has consistently identified the climate crisis as one of four interrelated existential crises that are gripping our nation all at once. And he's demanding answers that can address all four. And he's not waiting to take action, getting us started on his first day in office because science is telling us that we don't have a moment to lose to fight against all four of these crises in a way that recognizes their intersectionality. He's always committed the U.S. to re-enter, he's already committed the U.S. to re-enter the Paris Climate Agreement, and he committed us as well to start undoing the assault on our environment that has occurred over the past 4 years, and he is now taking additional action to really target the challenge of climate change. So today for me is a very good day. Just 1 week into his administration, President Biden is continuing to move us forward at the breadth and the pace that climate science demands. Today's executive order starts by saying it is the policy of this administration that climate considerations shall be an essential element of U.S. foreign policy and national security. That's where the big guy comes in. It creates both a White House interagency task force to address environmental justice as well as an advisory council. It directs the Department of Health and Human Services to create an Office of Climate Change and Health Equity, because after all, climate change is the most significant public health challenge of our time. And it
Yeah, check this part. This part's pretty important. Check this bullshit, dude. It's total fucked up.
tasked the Department of Justice with establishing an Office of Climate Justice, because we know the communities who are being hurt, and we know we have to start enforcing the standards today and ensuring that they are part of the solution in the places that we can invest. In fact, it commits 40% of our investment in clean energy towards disadvantaged communities so they can benefit from the new jobs that are available and see that better future. President Biden's order...
So they can build the shit that got burned down.
So yeah, that was all dirty energy. This
no
is
shit.
an investment in clean energy. Let's give the money to minorities because they've been creating dirty energy all this time.
This is the excuse to funnel the money back to the groups and the programs that just paid to burn everything down in the inner cities.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that much is of course.
Yeah,
It's where the big man comes in.
Yeah, the climate justice.
establishes a working group on coal and power plant communities,
Well, here's
because
the
we
risk.
have to make
All right.
sure that in
I
this
just-
transition, every agency in government is using every tool at their disposal to drive resources to those communities. And it fulfills long-standing commitments to leverage our vast natural resources to contribute to our clean energy future. It places a pause and review on new oil and gas leases on federal public lands and waters, consistent with a promise President Biden has repeatedly made and has been very clear in the face of efforts to distort his promise. And it sets a goal of doubling offshore wind production by 2030.
Yes.
In addition, he plans to sign a presidential memorandum that aims to restore scientific integrity across the federal government and earn back the public's trust, making a commitment to base solutions on the best available science and data. So today is a very big day for science and for our efforts to power our economy with good-paying union jobs.
This pipe behind me.
What does that even mean?
All right, check this out. This lady, all right, now watch this part, all right, because this is the whole reason I did this.
Is carrying the source of all those troubles for southwestern Colorado. I'm standing at the base of an abandoned gold mine near Silverton, Colorado.
This
is where workers
Obama administration
on a water-filled mine, unleashing a torrent of 3 million gallons of tainted mine water and tailings downstream. It turned the Animas River that color. Now,
loaded with arsenic and cadmium, among other heavy metals.
The river, thankfully, has gone back to a normal color, and that's because workers here at the mine have built 3 temporary storage ponds to hold back the water. The problem? The first storage pond here, it's full. The second one below it, it's also full. And the third one is filling up fast. Now,
That's not
I
a winner,
can't take
is
you
it?
right
Like,
to the base
that's
of the
not
mine
a
to show you
be-all and
exactly
end-all
where the water is
solution.
coming
That's a
out of the ground.
temporary thing.
And that's because workers here tell me it's just too dangerous. The ground could be undermined, it could be flooded, there could be landslides even. So I'm going to be waiting down here for federal officials to get on scene this morning and give us an update about what their next steps are to contain this problem.
See, that's
in
what you
Silverton,
want
Colorado,
to do, right?
This
Grab
is Trevor
a cup
Hughes
full of
for
that.
USA.
This morning, the EPA is taking the blame for a huge leak of contaminated water into a Colorado river. Government officials said Sunday.
Because that's what you expect other people to do.
Look at this river.
Look at that. That looks like some fucking
That's cadmium. That's cadmium. Yeah, poison. It also makes paint.
God.
Yeah.
You know they did that with the Flint water, and Obama wouldn't drink it either.
What?
It's horrible. And this is the thing that gets me, though, Prostate, is that when it goes to, oh, fucking, we've all got to do our bit to save the environment. Dude, I recycle, right? I turn my shit off when I go to bed. I don't leave lights on. And yet this still happens. But apparently the problem is me.
Well, see,
not the fucking mines that are plowing this shit out.
Well,
not the companies that are plowing this shit out, but me.
Yeah, well, so all right, so the whole point of that I put this in here is because this is the EPA took responsibility for this huge fuck up, right? And look who the boss was.
3 times larger than the original estimate. The once clean waterway used to look like this. It is a popular place for kayakers, but see how the same stretch of river is now filled with yellow, contaminated water. Unbelievable. Maria Villarreal is along the river in Durango. Maria, good morning.
Shit, that is.
Well, good morning. 5 days after the accident, wastewater continues to flow out of the Gold King mine at a rate of about 500 gallons per minute. The EPA has said they do not believe that this is dangerous for wildlife, but the danger is still unknown for humans.
EP.
The toxic sludge from Colorado's Gold King mine reached New Mexico this weekend, disrupting life along the Animas River.
I'm here on my property and I cannot shower. I cannot cook.
You don't look like you do shower, to be honest, love.
It looks like Tonetta.
No, there's no love lost there.
Is that not Tonetta? I thought that was.
Yeah. The EPA triggered the massive leak last week after a cleanup crew accidentally breached a debris dam in the mine, which has been closed since 1923. Since then, the toxic spill has stretched for more than 100 miles from Colorado through New Mexico and is creeping closer to Utah, bringing with it chemicals including lead, arsenic, and copper. In a conference call Sunday, the EPA revealed that in the Durango, Colorado area of the river, levels of lead increased around 3,500 times, but dropped as the plume passed.
Yes, those numbers are high, and they are scary because they seem so high. However,
Voice sound familiar?
Associated with exposure to a chemical is not just a matter of the toxicity of the chemical. It's also a matter of the exposure.
The EPA has come under fire for waiting nearly 24 hours before notifying communities.
The magnitude of it was, you can't even describe it.
New Mexico's governor blasted the agency after seeing the damage firsthand.
It is completely irresponsible for the EPA not to have informed the state of New Mexico immediately. We could have worked faster and harder to minimize the impact on the state.
Like a yellow it's unclear how much polluted water remains in the mine. For now, the EPA has set up 2 containment ponds to treat the yellow sludge near the site of the spill.
The city of Durango has declared a state of local emergency, but so far the EPA says they have not seen any immediate evidence of health to humans. But at this point, there are people downstream that are saying they have seen water discoloration. Christine, Moran, thank you.
The EPA will visit Colorado and New Mexico today to inspect the damage from the Gold King mine spill. The agency is facing criticism for how it is handling the sludge disaster. It promises an investigation into how it happened. Via Real is in Durango, Colorado, with the progress of the cleanup. Maria, good morning.
People moved out of the town in 2008.
Good morning. For the last week here, we've seen a lot of heavy metals and sediment collecting along the banks of the river. You can actually see how it has discolored some of the rocks behind me. The good news is that overnight here in Durango, it did rain, and while short term that means some of that sediment will head back into the river, long term this is a good thing because it means faster dilution.
How's it going down here?
Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper visited a the stretch of the Animas River Tuesday and admitted while he's disappointed with the EPA, he's focused on the cleanup.
Everyone's angry, right? I was angry. That said, our primary role now is that's behind us.
No idea.
How are we
They were breathing, man.
Even though the water looks normal now, over the past week, a plume of pollution with heavy metals, including arsenic and lead, has marched at least 100 miles downstream.
Don't worry, Drunken, they'll have 3 eyes.
In Washington, D.C. Tuesday, EPA Administrator Gina McCarthy apologized for the spill.
It pains me to be stirred up because they're heavy.
That's so fucked up, man. Like, I can't imagine if that happened in the UK.
All right, so this bitch,
that would get sorted within the day. You know,
this bitch was the head of the EPA when that spill happened, right, 6 years ago.
And now she's for environmental justice.
And they gave her the job back.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's almost as if the environmental justice is just a sham and bullshit to funnel money.
This is why I am confident coming on to American streams, and people always used to take out the piss. Oh, at least we got good teeth. Yeah, at least our water's fucking clean, right? Because your yard is fucked up, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. And here's the thing: when you've got a river that is flowing yellow like that, it takes so long for it to get sorted. In fact, it is easier to wait for rainfall than it is for someone to do something about it. That's how fucked your goddamn country is. So don't be coming at me about my goddamn teeth.
That's how fucked Obama and his administration was, and that's exactly who Biden has put in place. It's just Obama.
Nothing about that changed under Trump either. You've still got to go through one person, who's got to go through another person, who's got to go through another person. Yeah. Your government is too big to get anything done when it needs to be done.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have useless departments. We have useless people in charge. Yes, our government is way too damn big.
Fucking morons.
My teeth are fucking immaculate, I'll have you know.
I will say,
and you have a smorgasbord of hair.
My teeth.
I will say,
remember that, man?
Florida does get credit because with it being just a giant, basically it's floating on top of a underground river with all that limestone. It actually filters out the water really, really well. So a lot of natural impurities go through that limestone and get filtered out.
Not the most. It's still not drink worthy.
No, but they still filter it. But it takes out. It has natural filtration that takes out natural contaminants like lead.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
All right, no end to see this is happening, but we're working tirelessly to respond, and we've committed to a full review of exactly what
you need to go back to Boston.
Happened.
Preliminary tests show in Durango that the water quality is returning to the level it was before the accident. Still, the river will need to be monitored for years to come.
Yeah. We'll be back in it soon.
Charlie Noon makes a living off these waters as a fishing guide.
We've had some cancellations for sure. It's been tough because a lot of people do come to Durango to fish the Animas. It's a beautiful river. Not right now, but usually it's really beautiful.
With businesses and families waiting for the all clear, Governor Hickenlooper says he hopes the county sheriff will be able to reopen the river as soon as it's safe.
I want to have that information in his hands the moment we have it. And by that I mean
in minutes, not in hours, not in days, the moment we have it.
The Navajo Nation says it is feeling the brunt of this spill. So far, they have had to declare an emergency because they can no longer take water in from the river you see behind me. Gail?
Yeah. Thanks. Ooh, Arizona should reroute that water.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here. I want to say, first of all, what a pleasure it is to be here with Gina.
All right, we don't have to hear a damn thing this motherfucker has to say. So talk freely and amongst yourselves.
California deserves no water.
Oh shit, that's John Kerry. God damn.
Fuck this guy.
Oh, the guy from Ace Ventura.
That's the big guy.
This guy in his fucking neck.
Lurch.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. He basically told the entire energy department or the energy industry, everybody who got fired, you know what? You just made bad choices. Shouldn't have been a
No, yeah, this is where he says that. This is where he gives his commentary about the jobs. Yes.
Oh, he's hard to recognize with his eyes actually like going into his brain now.
To be honest, yeah, he should be answering the door for the Addams family right now, shouldn't he?
Ooh, you rang.
She does.
You rang.
Yeah, that's right.
It's also ADJUNCT. She mentioned that nobody was her boss, but I had the privilege of working with her. And she, 7 years ago, we gathered in the State Department briefing room.
I know you've got being turned up by 2, but I actually prefer hearing politicians sped up by 2 right now. You've awoken something in me.
Yeah, I have to do that with a lot of this shit, man.
It's the best way. If only they spoke like that all the time.
Yeah, no shit. Hey, man,
big agenda in front of us on a global basis.
Hey, the Yankee lady with the white hair, she was sped up, dude.
Good.
Can you imagine how fucking slow she is?
And President Biden.
I've only got so many hours in a day, bro.
And by the other,
right on.
Getting back into Paris immediately. That's why he rejoined the Paris Agreement so quickly, because he knows it is urgent. He also knows that Paris alone is not enough. Not when almost 90% of all of the planet's emissions, global emissions, come from outside U.S. borders. We can go so that's why today, when we get the job, President Biden will sign this additional executive orders.
He's sped up so much. I thought he said Paris Hilton just then.
As well as national here at home. Today, in the order that he will sign that Gina described to you, he makes climate central to foreign policy planning, to diplomacy, and to national security preparedness. It creates new platforms to coordinate climate action across federal agencies and departments sorely needed. And most importantly, it commissions a national intelligence estimate on the security implications of climate change to give all of us a deeper understanding of the first time. And our 17 intelligence agencies that have come together and assess exactly what the danger and damage and potential risks are. The order directs the State Department to prepare a transmittal package of Senate advice and consent on the Kigali Amendment, the Montreal Protocol, and then by itself, if ratified and fully enforced globally.
Why are there no stripes shown on the flag behind
it?
it?
And it's the process for us to develop an ambitious new Paris target, as well as a U.S. climate finance plan, both of which are essential to being able to bring countries of the world together to raise ambition and meet this moment when we go to Glasgow with the following agreement to Paris. So that's the only way.
A lot of people take very good care to make sure that most of the flag is seen.
The president is announcing that we'll host a leaders summit on climate change less than 3 months from now, on April 22nd birthday, which will include a leader-level reconvening of the major economies forum. We'll have specific
he has AIDS.
Of this summit is essential to ensuring that
yeah, he's contracted the AIDS.
Those thrown metals are coming back to finally haunt him.
Yeah, they are.
Pull his eyes into his skull.
So with these executive actions today, we believe we're steps further down that journey.
All right, let's start. Thank you so much, Secretary Bushby and Administrator Harvey.
He's stood in front of the White House. It looks more like Brian Manning when he stood in front of it.
Very much if the rest of the world doesn't do the same thing. But the U.S. has had a fairly rocky relationship with China recently. How do you plan to try to bring both China and India to the table on this issue?
I'm used to people saying, "What you doing with that hammer?"
They're asking about how he's going to bring China and India to the table on the French Accords.
He's going to buy some really good. He's going to buy some really good knee pads and get the job done.
Well, they're not going to fucking participate, man.
Kamala will put him in jail indefinitely if he tries to slide into her role.
Man, exactly. Legs in the air.
The competition.
Yeah.
Does his wife have any production facilities in China? Maybe he'll threaten to withhold the ketchup and other condiments.
Yeah, no shit.
Issue of
bigger suicide nets.
Making a difference, i.e. what we do at home. What I'm saying is you can't solve a problem alone, but our doing things makes an enormous difference. What Gina succeeds in pulling together is essential to our ability to have credibility.
Yellow River.
Now, with respect to China, obviously we have serious differences with China on some very, very important issues. And I am as mindful of that as anybody, having served as Secretary of State and in the Senate. The issues of theft of intellectual property and access to market, South China Sea. I mean, run the list. We all know them. Those issues will never be traded for anything that has to do with climate. That's not going to happen. But climate is a critical standalone issue that we have to deal on in the sense that China is 30% of the emissions of the world. We're about 15% of the emissions of the world. You add the EU to that, and you got 3 entities that are more than 55% or so. So it's urgent that we find a way to compartmentalize, to move forward, and we'll wait and see. But President Biden is very, very clear about the need to address the other issues with China. And I know some people have been concerned. Nothing is going to be siphoned off into one area from another.
And then a question for either of you on coal. Your executive order talks about oil and gas on federal lands, but it doesn't really say much about coal. What is this administration's policy when it comes to coal?
Well, in terms of the oil and gas decision, is to make sure that we take a little pause and review the entire strategy of how we're looking at public lands. So it will include looking at what new leases ought to be approved and sold. It's looking at our ability also to look at coal in that mix. So the program review is going to look at how we manage public lands consistent with climate, but also consistent with the marriage between climate and really growing jobs of the future. So it will be in the mix to be looked at, but it is not at this point included. It was not part of the commitments on the campaign, but we're going to take a close look at all of it. And can I just add on your comment about China, which I'm not going to speak to the international dynamic, but I am going to say that part of the challenge that we face here is a challenge that President Biden has already started to address with his Buy America pledge. We have to start not just shifting to clean energy, but it has to be manufactured in the United States of America, not in other countries. And there is going to be a large discussion about how we make sure that a lot of the investment is about building up our manufacturing base again. That's great jobs. That's often, hopefully, union jobs. But it is also a wonderful opportunity for us to recoup.
Comment with my name in the chat.
What?
What do you mean?
I thought I heard my name for something that's in the chat.
No.
Roasted and I are having a little Freaky Friday moment. I didn't get off the computer when he got back, so he jumped on my computer and he's typing in chat under my name.
Interesting.
Yeah, he said that river had so much cadmium in it, it could have been used as paint.
Yeah, right now I'm on Roasted's computer because he's got the Discord and everything. So he just got back from picking up his sister, and he jumped on my computer and started typing in the chat under my name.
It's Freaky Friday.
Little Freaky Friday moment. No, there's not enough alcohol for that.
Not at all.
It's Freaky Friday.
Nothing at all. No, there's not even a twinge.
Now, what was she saying about coal? Because aren't they also pushing for all federal vehicles to be electric by some point?
Yeah, she wants the total elimination of coal burners.
So how are they going to power those electric vehicles?
Exactly. They don't know how it works.
They don't know how it works, man. It's magical. It's magical cellulose. Maybe they'll use hemp to make the plastics, because you can do all kinds of shit with hemp.
The benefits of that manufacturing and lower the cost of clean energy. Part of the way we're going to get there is by making sure the federal government buys American and that the federal government looks at its procurement across every agency so that the breadth of what we spend is designed to advance job growth in the United States, to advance health benefits for environmental justice communities, and to begin to tackle the existential challenge of climate change.
Jeff Mason?
Thank you. Jeff Mason with Reuters.
Environmental justice communities.
Okay, did you guys know that the latest data suggests that we're heading into an ice age?
I couldn't tell living in Arizona where it's 48 degrees at 7 p.m.
Yeah, living in Britain.
Well, everything that's old is new again, man. I mean, that's what they're saying in the 70s, so expect bell bottoms to make a return.
Exactly, man, exactly. And then there'll be a hole in the ozone and all that shit.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I've always loved wearing bell bottoms, so I'm not gonna care.
Yeah, that's right.
Drunkle, I'm sorry that you're here to hear this, but I would say it anyway because I've been watching Top Gear for years. I like the Jeremy Clarkson take. Whenever I sit next to a Prius in the BMW or the boyfriend's Raptor, I rev the engine because I want them to hear me killing the environment.
Of course you do. Yeah, that's exactly why I meet in front of vegans.
That's right.
I drive the...
If I wanted to feel an ice age... He's got 8 inches on me.
If I wanted to feel an ice age, I would just put my hands between Levine's legs.
Question for both of you. Can you give us a sense of when you expect to have the so-called
Drunkle,
NDC.
one of us is getting late.
U.S. target for carbon gas emissions as part of
Then it ain't either me or you.
Also give us a sense of how ambitious you plan to make.
You can speak for yourself.
Earlier tonight.
50%.
I've got money.
I've
got 20 quid and surrounded by cheap prostitutes, girl.
They're allowed out during lockdown?
To see what kind of
I meant the people in this Discord, to be honest.
They're in essential business.
Yeah, you can't afford me.
Wait, what's this? Oh, like you charge.
How we better manage our forests so we're not seeing the devastating forest fires that we've been having before. So all across the federal government, every agency, and you'll see many of them
Turn out,
specifically
prostate.
tasked in
This
this
is real
executive
quiet.
order, will participate in the task force that we're going to have
It's
to
the
actually develop
mask.
the most aggressive NDC that we can to deliver the kind of boost that Secretary Kerry is looking for to be able to ensure that our international
How come she doesn't have two on?
sufficient to address the
I thought we were supposed to wear two.
We're supposed to wear 4 according to fucking NBC.
That the U.S. will
Holy
stick to what you
shit.
propose after having seen the Trump administration take the
Why is he
US
sweating?
as a court.
Well, that's precisely why we're going to stick by it, and I think
Because he's COVID positive.
He's got the Wu flu.
And they are welcoming us back. They know that this administration already has
Pooped his pants.
Because someone's rigging the Adams family's front door and he can't answer it.
It's the wig that he puts on to hide that he's actually lurch. It makes him sweat.
Deeply involved in negotiations in Paris, and
All good answers.
asked by President Biden, to make certain that we do the same in Glasgow, if not more. So I have had no one question our credibility at this point in time. Someone probably will, and the answer will be that I think we can achieve things in the course of the next 4 years that will move the marketplace, the private sector, global finance, innovation and research. In fact, no political person in the future will be able to undo what the planet is going to be organizing over these next months and years. This is the start of something new. I don't know if you read Larry Fink's letter of BlackRock yesterday.
I don't want to say the Great Reset.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, man. You fucking read my mind.
Yep.
Dude,
Fuck these people.
they're gonna shoot for the Great Reset.
Fuck these people.
Drunken, what do you think about that shit, the Great Reset? Have you heard anything about it?
What is it?
It's the communist idea that they can reset
The
the world if
globalist
they just
plan.
make it suck enough. They can push us into a communist utopia.
You won't own anything, and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
If that is going to happen, then you're going to need a near post-apocalyptic event, or apocalyptic event, should I say?
Like a
We're talking the Thanos snap.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need half of the population of all countries of all around the world to just disappear. Now, don't get me wrong. I have thought about it myself. You know, is the COVID thing? You know, it was mainly elderly people. Elderly people, bit of a drain on the economy. Okay, let's get rid of them then. So maybe they could be going down that route. But in my personal opinion, I tend to lean in the side of humanity. I don't think even fucking Lurch here is going, let's kill loads of people. I can't look at loads. I can't look at people's numbers.
He's an elite worshiper of Moloch, for God's sakes. I mean,
I was going to say, of everybody to talk about not having nefarious intentions with what they do, John Kerry is not on that list. This is a very...
He was a pet detective. He found the dolphin and...
No, that's
no.
Jim
Again, I got
Carrey,
yeah.
darling.
Okay, yeah, right, yeah.
No, he's probably one of the most corrupt and sinister people.
That could well be the case, but that is exactly why you have in the Great American System such thing as known as checks and balances. So one person who might be corruptly and absolutely evil cannot do corrupt and absolute evil because there are checks and balances.
Yeah, well,
Have
the
you not
checks
heard
and
the news
balances
the past
got
4
tossed
years?
out.
I mean, we had a dictator for the past 4 years. They absolutely could have
Well,
one person doing corrupt and evil shit.
Y'all do know that there's a house.
You had a what? You had a what? You had a what now? You had a what in the past 4 years or what?
I said, did you not hear the news for the past 4 years? We had an evil, corrupt dictator for president.
You voted out a dictator. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, right.
Brilliant. Yeah.
House Resolution 14 has been drafted to eliminate the Electoral College. So that's going to go on the floor. HR 14. What?
Yeah, have you seen HR 1?
Which is what is that? Go ahead.
That's the let's codify mail-in voting, and we'll just force everybody to register to vote every time the DMV gets personal information about them nationally. Nationally, you won't get a choice if you don't opt out within 3 weeks. The government will assign you a party and send you information for it. You will be registered to vote.
Crazy.
And they will send you a ballot.
Man.
That's what they're trying to codify. Now, the interesting thing is, I don't even know how they think they can write that up, because the Constitution specifically says that all voting laws have to be created by the state legislatures.
Right. But, you know.
The Constitution is just written on parchment.
Yeah. It's just
who gives a shit?
Right.
That's their
go-to. I mean, a lot of people are trying to. That's the thing when it comes to legalese, and this is legalese. It is the written law and the Constitution, obviously, and all so often gets debated. What does it really, really mean?
Exactly.
Which is a shame, because when the guys wrote it down, they went, "There's no way anyone can take this any other way," but they do.
There's no way to honestly do that.
The initiative.
I mean, they
to make their own ends, and it's not a case of like no one is going. Let's bend the Constitution to solve this fucking yellow water problem in that fucking river that looked like curry over there. They're all going, let's bend the Constitution so I can make more money.
Exactly. Yeah, no. And that's what the whole deal about Trump was. All right, that was what I've always said, is that it's about the money, man. He fucked up their money. You know?
Yeah, he did.
That's it. The whole thing is about personal gain. And
graft, exactly.
Everyone's personal gain, and now everyone's
he fucked the flow up, man. Exactly. You know, and
he should as well. I mean, prostate, fucking look at what happened.
I totally agree.
Fucking Wall Street Bets came out and they started fucking up other people's wealth. What happened? You had fucking hit pieces saying, "Oh, Wall Street Bets is a white supremacist subreddit aiming for fucking Jewish-based fucking hedge funds." And no, it's nothing like that. Not at all. Right?
Right.
But and all of a sudden, the Democrats, all of the people who have been going eat the rich, have gone, "No, you guys are wrong.
Protect the rich." Protect the rich.
And it's not even them being contrarian. It's them being stupid.
Man. Yeah, they're being just hard-headed for fucking hard-headed sake. Yeah, totally. Even if they acknowledge that they agree with this, they're still going to disagree politically.
If only they disagreed politically, but they don't, do they? They fucking burn shit down instead.
Indeed.
Children with their temper tantrums.
Words are violence.
Words are violence.
Silence is consent was my favorite. Like, oh, guys, rethink that.
That's right. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
It's gone faster and farther than
I prefer her on this speed.
I do too.
Slow.
Well, what she just said is but no. She said that the track that the United States was on for the last 4 years actually outperformed its expectations in the Paris Accord, even though we weren't in it. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And she just acknowledged that shit.
How is that supposed to
for the last 4 fucking years?
Right. How is that supposed to support her argument here?
That's my fucking point, man.
Real quick,
fuck Paris.
Moonhopper in the chat there saying a constitution, not a, only protects you if those in power agree to recognize.
Exactly. He's bang on, man.
No, it's not bang on. That's actually
completely, fuck that buys you off.
That's completely incorrect, to be honest. The Constitution is there, so that is what everyone fucking adheres to. It's not a case of fucking, we disagree with this bit or we disagree with this bit. The Second Amendment is there, as Sinatra loves to say, the First Amendment is there to protect us, and the Second Amendment is there in case the first one doesn't work out.
Cairo actually does have a historical precedent backing up his argument, though, because Andrew Jackson, when he was president, the Supreme Court ruled against him, and he said, well, let him enforce that. And he just ignored him.
Make me!
Right.
Well, then that's down to the fucking people, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, the Constitution is we, the people, right?
Right.
That's the Constitution isn't just upheld by the people who actually run the government. It is upheld by everyone who lives in that goddamn country. We, the people. That's everyone. Everyone in America who lives under the Constitution lives by the Constitution and has to uphold it. If there's one person out there who doesn't, then fuck off with you. Now, be that fucking business owner, stockholder, or fucking politician, fuck off with you. That is un-American.
In the chat earlier, I saw someone say,
this is coming from a
Brit! We need to protect the Constitution because the Constitution is getting torn to pieces. So no longer does the Constitution protect us. We need to start protecting it. And I tend to agree with that because every fucking decade, our Constitution is getting torn little by bit. And we're like, oh, well, it's just a little bit. We can let that one go. And eventually, they're going to destroy the entire thing.
Say, this is why. Go ahead.
Holding people to abide by the Constitution doesn't matter when you just allow anybody who entered the country illegally to, you know, stay and, oh, you've got 8 years or 11 years or whatever to apply to start your citizenship proceedings.
Oh, we don't really care if you don't show up to your secondary appointments for citizenship. We aren't going to go look for you.
There's a whole mass of people that aren't held accountable to abide by or honor the Constitution.
Right.
Well, no, because they're not citizens, so the Constitution doesn't apply to them.
This last part's a gag, so let's go.
Technology in the U.S. Is this some kind of caving into China, or is that a nuanced way to deal with China?
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you. I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with. I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. That's an excellent question. Oh, such an important question.
That's interesting, actually,
we'll circle back with you. It's an interesting question, but we'll circle back. I'm happy to circle back, but I'll have to circle back with you on it. It's a good question, but we'll circle back with you on this today.
It reminds me of a dog circling in the yard trying to find the
but I will have to circle back with you on that as well.
She's chasing a tail.
Yes.
And then, all right, so
approach at LAX?
Can you imagine? All right, can you imagine if Kayleigh McEnany would have said that to them?
She would have been torn to shreds.
That's a good question. I'll have to circle back.
That is so harsh because she was so much more erudite and eloquent than this bitch was.
Dude, she
there was
ripped
no
them apart.
You fucking go through. Find out the amount of times she said in every fucking speech. She knew what she wanted to say. Find out the amount of times she searched through her papers like Jen has done in the past fucking week. She never did it. She had an answer for every goddamn question, and she was out there representing the party that she was meant to represent. That girl, I don't care how you feel about the Democrats or the Republicans, but that girl, you want her on your side. No matter what your side is, she's good for you. That is a hard worker.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Prospero about stuff like this earlier today, and Kayleigh, not only did she have her stuff prepared, anytime they asked a question of her, she had a tab ready, and she just flipped to that page, barely scanned her notes, and then attacked.
You couldn't fucking stump her, could you?
No.
Anything you said to her, you could just go, "How do you feel about the fishing industry in Canada?" And she'd go, "I'm glad you asked."
She was a lawyer who went to one of the best law schools in the country.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would like to point out, Irate, your pause game was on point. That woman, if you were to pull up where you had that pause game, looked like a drag queen.
Yes.
Just saying, looked like a man in a wig.
No, yeah. Looked like, yeah.
Did you say drag queen? Somebody say drag queen?
Oh,
I
God
did.
damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Damn it.
No. Damn it.
Do it.
I just want to make it clear as well for what I've been saying and everything. Obviously I'm not a Democrat or Republican because I'm British. But when it comes to conservatives and liberals over here, I'm actually liberal leaning. But that doesn't mean that I can't call out my own side for the sheer hypocrisy that goes. Exactly. In fact, I think being a liberal, I think it is more my duty than anyone else's to call out my own side for being bullshit.
Agreed.
Exactly.
It's everyone's duty to clean out their own house before they start throwing stones at somebody else's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan.
Exactly. And we mentioned Moloch earlier, and look, she's shown up. The tranny demon with 5 penis horns growing out of her head.
No.
Okay, so you know what bothers me most?
It's so fabulous.
You know what the worst thing about this picture is? It was taken in a library in front of children.
Let me come back to 3 friends.
Yes. Holding a kid's book and reading to children all dressed like that.
Dude, you are talking to the guy who waged a war against queer kid stuff. I'm with you, man.
That's right, dude.
I'm with you. And it
game means happy.
It was a war.
I would also like to give Drunken credit for being liberal in Britain, where the European nations typically their liberal leaning is more liberal than the US on when you look at the overall scale, and he's still more logical than our liberals here in the US.
Well, that's the thing about I would normally appreciate that, and I would normally take that fucking compliment where you're giving it to me, but I don't think it deserves a compliment. It's just fucking logic, isn't it? It's just like just think.
Well, that's what happens when you do Common Core and decide to do equals 5 if you feel like it.
Right.
Right. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Which is why I homeschool.
She's complimenting your logic.
And that's why I homeschool.
Your kids are going to be fucked up.
They are. They are. They're going to be fucked up and brilliant and be able to get shit done, and they will make so much more money than their peers. Just because
they'll either end up sending a rocket to the moon or a missile down to like.
Johnny Hellcat donates $2 through super chat. Says the fire, it does nothing. It does nothing. I'm down with that shit. Right, and we get rid.
Immune to
See, I make them pay to take the tranny off the screen. It's starting to work now.
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that if you do.
You like the 2 minutes of hate, Drunken Uncle?
That felt like a lot more than 2 minutes.
Well, now check it out. You'll see it in a second.
Okay.
Did you ever see 1984 with John Hurt and what was his name? Married to Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton. Did you ever?
No, I mean 1994 to me was mainly masturbation, and I can't think of anything else.
No, I'm talking about the movie. It's Ingsoc. So anyway, all righty then. We'll go back to the happy room. Did you just see it? Man,
this whole stream worries me.
Well, man,
wasn't this Ingsoc? Was that V for Vendetta?
No,
1984.
It's 1984.
Straight. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, everything is basically a parody of 1984.
Winston Smith.
Yes. Why is John Hurt so good at playing a scary dictator?
God, you should see me. But you never will.
I'm serious.
I'm always behind you.
No, you're a pineapple. You can't possibly be behind me. You get stuck in my throat.
Right, okay. If we're talking realism tonight, I need to lay this out, right? If we're talking like political realism, life realism, and science realism, I'm not fucking Welsh. This is not what Welsh people sound like. And I'm not a pineapple. This is not what pineapple sounds like. Do you want me to do a pineapple accent for you so you know the difference? There you go.
Sure.
I'm Irish trash, so.
Nothing! Because I'm not a fucking pineapple! Why would you talk, you dick?
Drunkle, you can at least see what would come of it for all of us with that big eye.
Sorry, were you speaking anything other than bitch?
Oh, damn.
No, I'm talking with you.
Oh, in which case, carry on.
Darstar6909 donates $5. I am shit-faced. Well, I salute you.
Just, good for you, man.
Yeah. Just remember, if you fall face first.
Fucking fantastic. Love it.
Like it? All right. Well, shit, y'all. It's the top of the hour. It's 1 a.m. where I am. It's 2 a.m. in New York City. And it's what?
You only said it twice.
11 p.m.
I'm gonna go start a fire and watch some shows with my husband afterwards.
Sounds fun.
I've got a husband.
Yeah.
I'm married too.
Four children.
That's right.
Yeah, well, me and our prostate have husbands as well. and they're both way hotter than yours.
Uzi did get her hair cut short today.
I married Wally from Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
What was that, Pablo? I'll be in a minute.
I thought
I'll be there in a minute, Pablo.
Left or right.
Pablo. That's right. All right, fam. All right, so it's time to chill out as we do, and we'll start at the beginning with A for Atema.
Oh, hey, everybody. Listen, I don't have anything to shill today. I'm just going to say get the fuck on Gab. Seriously, get on Gab. There are ways to create groups. As people that are concerned about liberty and freedom, I don't care if you're right or left-leaning, we all need to start talking, and we need to find some very important institutions, or I guess businesses, corporations, whatever you want to call them. We need to find independent banking. And we need to find ways to get our money pulled so that we can control it, because the next step is for them to stop letting us bank. So you guys need to get on Gab, because they aren't going to be shutting it down like they are everything else. And we need to be able to talk, and we need to be able to find these resources if you really care and you want to do something.
Okay. Becca
I'm
Fairley.
going back to CB radios. Just
yeah.
To let you know. I have a episode of Fairly Just Becca tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Is it 6 p.m.? Yeah, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Cool. Drunken Uncle, what about you? What you got coming up?
Do me last.
You mean to do you last? I'll do you last.
Do me last.
Gamer Valine.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Like it with groceries.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna squeeze it until it fits.
Now I just feel scared.
Gamer Valine.
I need an adult.
So right now I'm actually working on a new project with where our tax money goes, because I think the rest of the country should be very, very interested in what their tax money goes to spend on a normal year. So I'll be working on that this week, and I'll have release.
Sweet.
What?
I said sweet. That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I started looking into grants and everything. New York City breaks up their New York City and New York State have separate grants and stuff like that from the government. So it gets really, really interesting when you're looking at it. But the government finally built a nice website that breaks it down where I can look at numbers and actually calculate percentages.
And you can also look at where politicians and who they donate to, and other politicians within the.
No. This is just the government spending for each fiscal year.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're going through the budget. Okay.
Yes.
Budgetary stuff. Nice. All right. Yes. Hey, Campbell. Go ahead. Are you? Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, on Tuesday, Drunkle and I will be playing Fallout 76 over on Twitch.
Oh God, again!
Fallout 76.
I mean, we can play a different game if you want. Or you can just quit on me and leave me alone.
No. Come on, Drunken Uncle. You know you want to do it.
Leave me alone.
All right, man. We'll leave you alone. Fuck. How about hey, Cam? Don't break up on my show. Hey, Campbell, chill out.
Girl. I love you.
No. Hey, Campbell, chill.
Oh, this Sunday on the Johnny Hellcat channel, which I just dropped in the chat, we are having a Torture's How You Make Friends stream with special guest Undead Scribe from Twitter, Pose Law, He's going to be on with us, and we're going to make him watch some bad stand-up comedy. And yeah, check that out. We also do game streams over there. Also, if you guys are so inclined, I'm going to quote another Okie and say, brother, can you spare a dime? There's my Cash App.
Sweet.
Oh, flawless move.
It was slick. All right, Roasted.
Love it. Well played. I'm inclined to throw you $1 right now, sir.
Is that Roasted or Colleen?
Yeah, it's still Colleen here.
All right.
For me, you just hear me on Lords of the Night and the MSS News articles. For Roasted, I will be a good woman and chill for my man. You can check out his videos on his... Yeah, you can check out his videos on his channel. His last one was Stimulating Conversation about the stimulus package and Biden. And he'll be working on his next one, hopefully out early next week.
Sweet. And Stone Monkey?
You know me. I'm here Friday nights. And then on gaming streams whenever I appear.
Nice.
That's all I do.
Yes.
That's all I do anymore.
A wild Stone Monkey appears.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the wife's sleeping behind me, so I've been kind of like keeping mute so you guys don't hear her.
I see what you're doing.
She snores like a sailor.
Yes. I don't hear nothing.
That's good, because goddamn, sometimes she's loud.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Oh, I don't care. She wakes up.
She's angry. She wakes up.
I don't know. She looks like she wakes up sweet to me.
Yeah, she's not too bad.
Sweet. All right, so finish us out, Drunkle.
Well, shit. What you got to do is go to Anatom of the Hun, Becca Farrell, Gamer Levine, Hate Camel, my mistake, Roasted Opinions, and Stone Monkey, and more importantly, subscribe to Irate Prostate.
Groovy. That was sweet, man. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing something tomorrow night, I think, on the Accelerated Deconstruction show. And Sunday, I will be talking to the one and only Memes of Destruction. And then Monday, I don't have it picked out, but Becca and I are going to kick communism in the balls once again on Extra Credit. So, and then on that note, fam, everybody say goodbye, and we're out of here.
Well, good God, all right, Prostate, that sounds like one hell of a... Unfortunately, I'm going to be attending the Super Bowl as a red-blooded male on Sunday, but after that, then you do have my God-given attention.
Nice. All right.
Bye, everybody.
What are you, fucking commie? Huh? No, I ain't no commie. Oh, you better not be. I don't want no commies in my car. No Christians either.
Remember, they're just jokes.
We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
Still a stupid. It's such a fine line between stupid and clever. Yeah, she's clever.
Lou Gossett is annoyed.
Hey, you know, we've got some real bad guys in this country. Abusing public lands, defacing parks, robbing historic sites. These are our lands, yours and mine. You know, the good guys. Now, you gonna let a bunch of bad guys run us off our public lands? Or are you gonna help save the lands? Let's show these bad guys that the good guys always win.
Write Take Pride in America. Post Office Box 1339, Jessup, Maryland 20794.
Hey, thanks for sticking around, people. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night in Accelerated Deconstruction. Later, fam.